So hi everyone. I will speak about EA Games account takeover. My name is Zaikin and I'm a security researcher. So EA Games stands for Electronic Arts. Is an American video game company. Is the second gaming vendor in the world. Very big company. They are very famous for various games. They published Battlefield, Need for Speed, the Sims games, and they're very famous for their sports series, FIFA, NFL, NBA, NHL, and so on. A little bit about the technical parts of EA Games. They operate basically two domains. They operate EA.com and Origin.com. And they use those domains to provide global access to various services for their players. They allow players to buy games online, to buy in-game currency and other stuff. Basically, they have big websites, and they are very famous for their gaming development. The vulnerability we found in EA Games, basically it was account takeover. By sending an innocent-looking link to somebody, we could take over his account to get his credit card information, to see every detail he inserted inside his profile in EA Games services. But to perform the account takeover, we had to perform two steps before that. So we started with a subdomain takeover, which I will explain in this presentation. And then we performed SSO manipulation to steal the token, and we used the token to log into any account we wanted. So this is the flow, and this is what I will be talking in this presentation. So we will start with the basics, subdomain takeover, which is very interesting. So let's think about, if you have the organization example.com, I will explain you what is subdomain takeover. If we will take the example.com, for example, and let's assume this company want to provide some kind of service worldwide in large scale. So they probably will use some kind of a content delivery network, right? They will use a CDN. There's many CDNs. There's many CDNs providers. For example, Amazon, they use their CloudFront, and there is Microsoft Azure, and there is Google GCP, and CloudFront, and so on. But in order to configure this content delivery network, to configure this CDN, you have to create a record inside your DNS server for the subdomain that you want to deliver worldwide, right? So if you will take the sub.example.com, you will point it to your CDN service. For example, let's say Microsoft. And you will have something like that, sub.example.com pointing to another domain, which is configured in your CDN platform. And if somebody will visit this website, sub.example.com, basically he will get here to the nearest server because of the CDN network. I think you're all familiar with that, right? But what will happen if your account in the CDN provider will expire or may be removed? It's possible that you will close your account. Maybe you want to switch to other CDN provider. Maybe you just want to delete your account. It's a legitimate scenario. It can be happen. But if your account will expire or removed, and you will forget this record inside your DNS server, what will happen now? If somebody will go to sub.example.com, he will be redirected to non-existing website, right? He will receive some kind of error from the CDN provider. But the hacker here, in this scenario now, can go to that CDN provider and register another domain.com, because now it's free, it's available to anyone. If this record will stay in the DNS configuration, what will happen now, if somebody will go to sub.example.com, he will be visited attacker website, and the attacker will be able to create any code under his website because he controlling it. It's his website. He can run JavaScript code. He can build anything he wants, from phishing to full account takeover, which I will be explaining. So basically, subdomain takeover is a pretty significant bug, and in some situations, it can lead to full account takeover if there is a SSO and the other token manipulations and things like that, like EA implemented in their services, right? So let's see what EA did. EA, they has the domain eaPlayInvite.ea.com, which was pointing to EA Invite Reg Azure websites. Azure websites is basically Microsoft CDN service. It's a Microsoft Content Provider Network inside Microsoft Azure, and they wanted the EA Play Invite to be globally available everywhere, to work fast, you know. But what really happened, they closed their Azure account, they removed their user because they didn't want to use that, but they forgot this record inside their DNS servers. So now there is eaplayinvite.ea.com, it's EA subdomain, pointing to basically nowhere, pointing to an existing website. So what we did, we log into our Azure user, and we configured eaplayinvite.com, which is now, technically it's free and available for anyone to configure. So we configured that, and now the DNS record is looking like this, and ta-dam, it's our website. If we will go to eaplayinvite.ea.com, it's our website. Now, basically, we take over one of EA subdomains. And by doing that, we now can run code inside the EA architecture, because sometimes when you configure your entire organization, there's a trust policy between your subdomains and the main website, because you don't really want the users to always authenticate again and again and again. You basically will direct them everywhere inside your system by logging once, and so this is a big advantage. And we wanted to see what we can do from here. We currently have a subdomain, which is really cool, but how we can take that in advantage and take control over the main website. So to take control over the main website, we will move to SSO manipulation. A little bit about SSO, I think you're all familiar with it, but I will explain again. SSO stands for Single Sign-On. It's a session authentication service which allow you to log in once, and with your credentials, basically your credential will turn into a token, and by using this token you will be able to log into every servers inside your production, to even to mobile devices, to websites. Basically, if you have a game on your computer, also there. Everywhere with just one login, it's very common. So we tried to see what we can achieve by controlling the EA playinvite.ea.com. We have one of the subdomains. Maybe somehow we can use that to manipulate the entire architecture, and somehow maybe we can bypass the trust mechanism inside the SSO EA provided and this EA created. So we log into one of the subdomains of EA and wanted to see how they manage all the sessions and the sign-in process and everything in the system. So if you will go to answers.ea.com, you will see a pop-up from signin.ea.com. This pop-up will pop up in every EA subdomain, and here you will be, and here you need to insert your login and password. After you insert here your login and password, you will see the following request. So how all the SSA works inside EA games? Basically, you have to log into one of EA subdomains. There is many of them: answers, there is services, accounts, profile, a lot of them. If you will log into one of them, you will see the pop-up from sign in. You will see this long request with a redirect parameter. The redirect parameter will redirect you to sign in. And inside the sign in, you have another redirect. You see, they have twice redirect. Basically, you choose the subdomain, you will be redirected to sign in. You have to insert your credentials. After you insert your credentials, you will be redirected back to the server that asks for the login process. So if, in this example, we will start with answers.ea.com, there will be a pop-up from signin.ea.com. You will insert your username and password, and in the second redirect, you will be redirected back to answers.ea.com. Nothing complicated, a basic redirection, and after SSO configuration. So we tried first to put our domain, or to put attacker.com maybe here in the redirection. Who is that? Very enthusiastic guy. Okay. So if you try to put here in the return URI something that not inside the EA organization, the request will be blocked and nothing will happen and you will not receive the token. But we have something that we can do to bypass this regex, right? What we have? We have the EA domain. We have the EA playinvite.ea.com. So basically, if we will use our domain that we control now, we have a domain inside EA that will allow us to bypass the regex that they created, and we will be able to receive back the SSO token, right? So what we did here, we just put on the second redirect our domain, because this domain inside the EA infrastructure. And as you can see here, we will receive the access token from the user. For the account takeover itself, basically we will use the same request from before, but now in the return URI here, we will put the eaplayinvite.com and not answers.ea.com. We will send this link to somebody, and after he will click on the link, at the referral header, we will receive his token because of the redirection. So the account takeover, the potential of that is quite huge. We could have any credit card of the victim. So if this attack would exploit it worldwide, in worldwide scenarios, the attackers would have many credit cards, and they can use this credit card first to buy in-games items in games, but basically they had all the information from the credit card. They can use it everywhere. More, we have the victim personal information that they put inside their accounts. We have all of that data, which is a big issue nowadays. We worked with EA, of course. They fixed everything. They act very responsible for security vulnerabilities, what we expect from every company that we disclose a bug to them and a vulnerability. And after the victim would press on our link, we even created a nice panel for demonstration purpose only. If somebody would press on our link, we would have him here, and we have a button. The resolution not quite good, but a hijack session account, if you would press on that, we could log into his account. So let's see a demo. Yeah. Demo. Show me the demo. Show me the demo. Let's start with demo, then the money. Just a second. It's loading the demo from YouTube. No. No, it worked before. No, my computer. Basically, Microsoft presentation just crashed. So wait a second. You don't see that, but. No, now it's not responding. Another second. Wait. This is Microsoft fault, not mine. Wait, technical issues, like always. Wait. We'll give it a second. If not, I will just go to YouTube. No? Just a second. Okay.
So in the meantime, till Roman will fix it, my name is Oded. I'm working with Roman in the research. So the research of the EA games was coming after we did something similar on Fortnite. We investigated Fortnite before EA games, and we started to investigate Fortnite infrastructure because okay, it's running. Bye-bye.
No, but you can continue.
It's a good point.
It's a good point. It's a really good point.
After that, go. It's your show.
You can see everything here happening here. So this is the SSO, what I talked before. And we have all the victim information and the credit card itself. The order history. Now we will use the SSO to log into the victim account. You see, we put the token here. And we use his credit card to buy something in the game. So that's all. If you have any questions, thank you.